Hey girlfriend, you know who you are. You have big, big dreams. You want to write a book, stand on a TED Talk stage, be a life coach offering wisdom from your RV in Montana, a cafe in Barcelona, or a beach chair in Tulum. Your other girlfriends and your family, they don't always get your biz savvy. Why do you want to leave your job? Because you're a C.A.T.S, aka coach, author, thought leader, and speaker. Meet other change makers like yourself and find out how they make it happen. This is the Big Meow podcast.
All right, cats, we're here today with Zenobia Jackson. Hey, Zenobia.
Hello, Queen Kristen. How are you?
I got my cat crown on today for you.
Listen, I was looking for mine, but all I came up with was this print here.
I hear you, girl. That looks so good. So, Zenobia, share with me your business philosophy.
My business philosophy is cast, commit, believe, and receive. And it comes from 1 Peter 5:7 when it says, cast all your cares unto the Lord, right? Because as women, we find ourselves carrying things that we were never intended to carry. So I'm learning how to cast them to God, commit them there, believe what I've been praying for, and opening my arms and hearts to receive it. So cast, commit, believe, and receive. That's my business philosophy.
I love that, Zenobia. I do think that all of us women carry such a heavy load. I mean, we carry stuff. We got stuff from our families. We got stuff from our parents. We got stuff from our girlfriends. We got stuff from grade school. We got stuff from everywhere. And I just think that it can really create a pretty big bottleneck when you're trying to bring something significant into the world through your business. What would you say to other entrepreneurs like yourself that can help them have a breakthrough?
Starting with believing in themselves first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? Like, God has given us the ideas, the images, the dreams. That was personal. And I think oftentimes we look around us expecting and wanting people to root for us and support us. And it's really good when we can have those people that support us, but sometimes that's not the case. And so I would tell any queen that's trying to start her own business, or whether it's a life coach, whatever it is, queen, you got to believe in yourself first. You got to believe that when you receive that dream, that idea, that vision, that you were the one, like God chose you to operate in that greatness. And he'll send people along the way to support you and undergird you. But it starts with you first.
You know, that is so true, because I think the first steps when you are getting out there, and even along the way, if you're ready to up level and take it, to a new direction, oftentimes you have to go on your own soul. You got to go on your own heart. You have to say, I just believe that this is the direction I'm meant to go in. And all I have to indicate that is just this inner voice. Maybe it's the voice of God that just says, hey, go here. And sometimes there's not that much support at the beginning.
It's not. I remember when I left my job, I was a teacher for about 15 years in different, areas or what have you. And it just, something was just like, you know what, this is not it. There's so much more. Keep in mind, I didn't have a plan B. It was like just jumping.
We're all kind of guilty of that, Zenobia.
It was like just jumping off the cliff. But what I realized is that the dreams and the desires that he had given me is kind of like they came into place as long as I continued to walk, though. I didn't stop. I just continued to walk, and he just continued to send people my way saying, hey, let's try this. What about this? And it just kind of unfolded.
There is just such a huge element of trust when you are a coach, author, thought leader, speaker, putting yourself out there. You have to trust that you are the right messenger for this inspired knowledge that you want to deliver to the world, because without believing in yourself and putting yourself out there, you don't really have the momentum to get very far.
No, you're not going to get very far. You're not. And one thing I realized with a lot of my fellow colleagues, even, we wrestle with, I know you heard about this imposter syndrome, right?
Right.
We wrestle with that because we have not achieve the things in life that we feel that we should, those successes. And one thing I am learning, ing, not there yet, Queen. But one thing I am learning is with the way we can rid this imposter syndrome is knowing who we are and knowing that the call that God has on our life, it shall come to pass. But also community is so important. So surrounding myself around women that can see what's in me and not necessarily what's going on around me. Okay.
Oh, I love that.
Because the storms and the disappointments and things of that nature can cause any of us to be like, you know what, maybe I'm, cause us to second guess ourselves. But when you can have your tribe, I love that word tribe, have your people, your girls, meow, that can see that can see what's truly in you, it's like, it just propels you. It pushes you further. So yeah.
Zenobia, I so agree with that. That's the whole reason that I was just inspired persistently to create C.A.T.S Network, because I was meeting so many different women, and every time I'd have a call, even like the conversation we're having now, I'd feel so energized and be like, I think that we women thrive together, that we need each other, that we support one another. There's so many opportunities for collaboration, and I want to hear why you call us all queens. I love that.
Listen, girl, if somebody gave me $1 for every time they said, why do you do that? Why do you call us? I would be a millionaire. Okay. The backstory, really brief, 30 seconds. I personally believe that every woman, no matter what color you are, no matter what race, I believe that we were created for success. We were created for great.
Hell yeah.
There's so much inside of us. And sometimes it takes another queen to recognize a sister that may not feel like she's a queen, may not believe that she's a queen. And so I started calling women queens about maybe 10 years ago. And everywhere I go, she can be 100 years old. She can be 2. She's a queen, and she is, and you are just destined for greatness. So yeah.
Those 2-year-olds love to be called queen, and so do the 100-year-olds. So all of us girls in the middle need to love it too, because we love it at both ends of the spectrum. But, I think sometimes in the middle, where we're going through this challenging decades, we're like, I thought I was a queen once, but I'm not so sure right now.
Yes, indeed. Well, you are a queen, no matter the age you are.
So what's a challenge that you had recently that you came up with some unique way to resolve it?
Oh, wow. It was today.
Oh, wow.
So we have this conference coming up, not really a conference, a women's gathering called the Whole Woman Gathering Experience. And not getting the support, once again, as I stated earlier, from certain people that I felt that should, right? And so in that moment, who coaches the coach, right?
Right.
Who mentors the mentor? And so thank God I had someone that I can go to and kind of talk through it, talk it out with her. And what I realized is that it doesn't really matter if you have the support you think you have, or you think that that you should have people rallying behind you. What's important is that you heard the directions, you heard the directives, and you have to follow suit with it. Because as you stated earlier, like for all of us, there's a particular group of people, women, men, whomever, that God has called us to. And so too often we'll get sidetracked. Like we begin to lean into all the other distractive voices and noises that cause us to get off track. And so at that moment, I just had to have a moment, share my feelings, and really be like, okay, I just need understanding right now. I don't care about being right or wrong. I just need understanding and clarity. And so my coach, my mentor, was able to kind of walk me through that. And so, I'm just really excited about what we're going to be doing down here in Tennessee with the women. And yeah, I'm back on track now.
I love that you honor yourself. Like, I feel like that's such an important part of self-care, is to check in and ask, how do I feel about this? Like, instead of just, putting on the brave face, pushing through, creating a lot of stress. I've noticed this for myself. I'm 54. So like there was a lot, and I used to do TV news. So there was a lot of stuff where I was like, okay, I just have to show up, I'm on a deadline. I got to get this story, get it on
Mhm.
the air. I never thought about how I felt about things, and I
Mm.
was in West Palm Beach, Florida. So I saw a lot of, I call it the house fires, heartache, and homicide, right? Like
Oh,
it was just so much stuff.
yeah.
And then I wouldn't even think about how I felt about what I saw or what that day was like for like
Yeah.
a week or 2 weeks, and it was some dark stuff. It was like this accumulated stress. And
Mhm.
so I feel like this is such a great point that you're making, is to stop, pause.
Mhm.
You don't have to do anything, but
Mhm.
just check in and ask yourself, how do I feel
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
this situation, either in my business or in life or in my family and relationships?
That's true. That's true, Queen Kristen, because the thing is, we do not want to become numb. We do
Right.
not want to become desensitized. So we have to check in with ourselves to make sure, okay, how are you feeling about this? Like I tell my clients, I am a product of the product. I will never tell you something or advise you or encourage you to do something that I myself is not practicing. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm a product of my product.
So Queen Zenobia, that sounds awesome, right? Queen Zenobia, what's next for you?
Oh, wow. So many amazing things. So, like I said, we have the whole woman experience coming up in March and in April. And then in May, a sister queen of mine, we're going to go to Hilton Head, South Carolina
Aw,
for a retreat in May. And
so fun.
it's actually on Mother's Day. We did not plan it that way, Mom. Okay. So forgive us. But we just felt like, heck, we love our kids, but sometimes we need a break from the kids, from the hubby, from everything, and be able to just to center back in on us, you know?
That sounds awesome and
Yeah.
magical. And I hope you have a great time. I love Hilton Head. So where can we find you, Zenobia?
You all can find me at www.zenobiajackson.com. Made it really simple for you all. I'm also on Facebook at Zenobia Queen Jackson. And you can also find me on Instagram at Zenobia Jackson Coaching.
Love it. Zenobia, thanks for being on the Big Meow.
You're welcome, Queen. Mwah.
Thanks for listening to the Big Meow podcast, sponsored by C.A.T.S Network. If you liked what you heard, please take a moment to subscribe and share this podcast with your friends. You can also join our network filled with positivity and possibility. Visit www.catsnetworking.com to join us and learn more, together with your magical, motivated, and mystical new friends at C.A.T.S Network. Let's transform 1 million lives with your message. Are you feeling isolated, sitting at home in your PJs? Or perhaps you're tired of the comfy sweatpants with holes in them that are hidden just below the camera? I mean, you could puke at the thought of another day of Zoom meetings and reporting to your BOSS. Do you want freedom from your home office desk or the office cubicle? Do you want freedom from your current career? Or are you frustrated that your online biz dreams are going nowhere? It's all too overwhelming. Where do you start? All the tech, the choices, and your message. Yep, I said your message, your brand, your voice. What is it? Do you even know what that means? Do you need a biz coach but don't want to invest the big bucks? Let's face it, being a solopreneur is lonely, but you don't have to do it alone. And here's a solution. Join C.A.T.S Network. C.A.T.S Network is a woman-only membership community exclusively available to you, the life coach or executive coach, the author, the thought leader, or the public speaker. If you identify with this list or want to work on adding some of these to your skill set, C.A.T.S is the place for you. Check us out at www.catsnetworking.com. That's C.A.T.S networking.com. Because let's face it, cats are better together.